This series of slides represents what the TLT group has been learning over time as we've experimented with this designated learner instructional strategy. And we continue to add our lessons learned, so I hope you'll check back and look for new lessons and new ideas that emerge over time. The designated learner is someone who learns in front of others and serves as the voice of the learner for the other participants. Our context for this experiment has been Adobe Connect web conferencing. And the content that we've been working with primarily are different social media networking tools and resources. The designated learner sessions are sort of like a cooking show in that we do some preparation ahead of time so that we can help things flow smoothly, because our goal is to get the designated learner to succeed on one or two tasks as quickly as possible. And we also like to allow time at the end to discuss other features of the application or answer any questions. There are some things that are really important to do in preparation for the session. To help the designated learner prepare, we've created a preparation form that you see under step 1. And then in terms of the teacher is really important because they help to identify what participants need to do in advance, such as create an account, download software, organize some materials so that they can follow along as well. And then it's very important for the designated teacher and the designated learner to meet so they can kind of be on the same page about the task and the technology that's going to be used during the session. One of the new lessons that we have recently learned is the importance of the designated learner and the designated teacher meeting together prior to the session. That's been in our flow since the beginning, and we discovered how important it was recently when we weren't able to get the designated learner and designated teacher together. And it's really important that that happen and that there is a conversation about what the designated learner would like to produce for a couple of reasons. One is that it's possible that what the designated learner wants to do can't really be done with the application that we're working on, or that it needs to be tweaked a little bit. And tweaking that prior to the session versus in front of everyone is really a good thing, and it saves some time and some confusion. So just want to reemphasize the importance of the designated learner and designated teacher meeting together prior to the session. In terms of other lessons that we've learned, it's important to include some sort of an orientation, even though it might be brief. In our case, we used Adobe Connect. We need to do an orientation to Adobe, especially in how to access the microphone, because if we have a small group, we like to have all the participants have access to the microphone if they have one. And we've discovered that it's really important to explain the designated learner approach, because somebody coming into to one of these designated learner sessions new are often confused by what's going on. And then the general flow of the session. So the orientation pieces are really valuable. And then in terms of the demonstration, we really want the designated learner to be guided as rapidly as possible to produce something to completion, so that deciding what that something is in ahead of time is really important task. And then the instructor can go through the other features and answer any other questions after that initial demonstration. what seems to be consistent in all of our experiments is the fact that no matter how well we plan ahead, there will invariably be something that the designated learner will ask that will be unexpected or an unexpected request. And so that's just really good for the designated teacher to know that, and then just go with it because that will be just kind of more organic in what would naturally happen in a learning situation. It's really important for the designated learner to understand that we want and it's very natural and helpful for everybody when the designated learner makes mistakes. And the purpose of learning in front of is that we all, as participants, learn from the mistake and the correction that the designated teacher provides. So it's important for that designated learner to be confident and comfortable enough to do that and just to keep trying and have fun with the process. The typical designated learner session is scheduled for an hour, and then we will sometimes have what we call afterthoughts beyond the hour, where we might debrief on the designated learner process, brainstorm next step, do some of the wrap-up things. If that doesn't take place during the initial hour. There have been several roles that have emerged, and these are roles for the participants. And one is the designated follower. We're giving the participants the option to follow along as the teacher is instructing the designated learner, or just to watch the demonstration. And we encourage the designated follower to help us by asking questions from the follower perspective. There, another role is the designated kibitzer, and that's somebody who is a participant who can add just random informative comments. Maybe they've used the tool in the past or the application, and they have some additional observations to add or anything else related to the process. And one of the newest roles that emerge is the designated list maker, because we're focusing on the very basics of an application. And invariably, people will be thinking about, oh, but can it do this and can it do that? And we ask the participant to capture, to write those things down in the chat and ask them if they'd be willing to kind of gather that up so we can address those either at the end of the session or in a subsequent session. With whatever you do, it's really important to kind of set the stage for the participants in terms of the various roles that they may want to take at the start of the session.